What's going on YouTube? Today I want to speak to you about something that's extremely important to your spiritual life, and that is growing up.
Really need to grow up.
Naturally and spiritually, we are all born, or we're spiritually born again, but not just to be born. We can't stay there. We have to mature. We have to grow up. So today I want to speak to you about spiritual maturity and how you unlock that in your spiritual life. What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to Faith Like That. We are a Christian ministry that is dedicated to helping you live a clean life for Christ and live that life abundantly. And we also want to add value to you, and we do that by you subscribing to our channel and hitting that bell icon so you know when our videos are coming out. Alright, so once again today on this video, we're talking about spiritual maturity. Now, what is spiritual maturity? Let's get into that first. When I say that, what I'm speaking about, or to kind of simplify it for you, it's just about you growing up in your spiritual life. You developing a deeper connection with God and an understanding of His Word, and the application of both of those things, the relationship and His Word, and your prayer life and the Spirit in your life. Becoming spiritually mature is much more than just wearing the right clothes and saying the right words and going to church every time it's open. It's you living out these things in your life, and ultimately you understanding God's will and doing God's will in your life. So I want to share with you 3 steps to unlocking spiritual maturity in your life. And the first step is spending time with God. Now, you may know, but you may not know, there are multiple ways that you can do this. There's prayer, there's Bible study, there's going to church, there's worship. There's multiple ways that you can spend time with God. And I would recommend you not focus on just one, but you incorporate all those ways of spending time with God, because it's going to develop a deeper connection and relationship with Him. And get to the point where when you speak to God, it's not always you speaking. You're taking time to listen or just be with Him in His presence, to look for God's presence, to seek to understand His Word, to see where you can understand His will and apply it to your life. And that is one of the first steps to achieving spiritual maturity.
Spend some time with Him. You might learn to love Him.
The second step to spiritual maturity in your life is obeying and being obedient to God's Word. This is where many people kind of fall off in spiritually maturing and growing up. That they get the point of, yeah, we need to pray. Yeah, we should read God's Word and study the Bible. We should worship. We should go to church. We should spend time with other Christians and God. And we kind of focus there. But the next step is where so many of us have such a hard time and fall short and miss the mark. And that is obeying God's Word and doing the will of the Father in our lives. Now, when we get to that point, we are well on the way to spiritual maturity. But it's not just knowing and hearing, but actually doing what you hear. And for some reason, in a lot of our churches, we get to these big churches where we go, and on Sunday, we live a certain way, and we act a certain way, and we speak a certain way. But as soon as Monday hits, our lives change, as if we're only Christian and God only exists there in that building in the church. And that's not true. So, to really grow up and mature spiritually and with God, you have to not just hear the Word and go through these practices of prayer and worship. You have to apply and be obedient to His Word in your life.
Because He is my King, and I'm sworn to obey Him.
And now for the third and final step to spiritual maturity is to serve other people. The predominant and main activity that Jesus did when He was here on this earth was serving. It was service. He served other people. He healed other people. He spoke to other people. He prayed for people. He led other people. He taught other people. It wasn't just about Him. It was about them and service. And that, my friends, is the ultimate sign of spiritual maturity, when someone not only knows the Word and those practices of prayer and worship, they're applying it in their lives, and we see it lived out in service and charitable organizations, in churches, and what they do for other people that's not just them. That they humble themselves and they serve other people. And when you can get there with all these steps, then you will be well on the way to being spiritually mature in your relationship with God.
Happy to serve.
So thank you for spending time with us today as we talked about spiritual maturity. Hey, if you're still here, I want to ask that you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you know when our videos are coming out. Also, if you're still here, I feel like you liked the video, go ahead and smash that like button. And until next time, have faith, be safe, and we'll see you soon.